So first of all, good afternoon, everyone. I think the topic is very much apt. Any conversation, any conference cannot be completed without talk of AI. In last 1 year in technology space, the AI that has contributed to our day-to-day work, everybody, if you see your app and you open your phone, none of app is kind of, you'll see without AI. So that is the transformation that we are seeing. And now at India Digital Summit, we are trying to understand from the pioneers of AI, from Microsoft, and the organizations which have deep research experience, deep patents in terms of 500 plus patents in the various area of AI and various domains, those are present, and startups who have emerged. So how India is going to become part of the AI value chain, that is something we are going to discuss today. So I would first of all introduce, I would request each of the panelists to introduce themselves. I'm Dharmender, Jhamb, partner Grant Thornton, and would like to request fellow panelists to give a brief introduction about yourself, your interest areas. Over to you, Vinay.
Hi, my name is Vinay Kumar. I am part of corporate business development team at Microsoft. And in my current role, I work with a number of companies across different verticals and different stages of their evolution to figure out how we can work with them on AI and create a sort of a non-linear partnership with them that creates value for both sides. So I've been with Microsoft for a long time now. I was in the US for several years and then decided to move back to India. I'm based here in Gurgaon.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Jatin Sindhi, and I'm representing an organization, Faction AI. We are based off Texas, US, and we are the 5th largest cognitive AI patented portfolio in the world. And we are focusing on bringing the smart city AI to across country in India. And so our focus is on smart infrastructure, smart airport, smart tourism, smart medical systems, and smart sustainability. So we are coming up with a very big portfolio, and we are not talking about only technology. Today, if you see, you can go Google, you can understand AI very well on your own. You don't need us to teach you about AI. So 2-3 years back, I started with Gen AI. We successfully taken it to the market globally. Now we are working on the future of the country and globally for cognitive AI applications. Before that, I was the part of the leadership board of SAP. I set up the complete SAP innovation ecosystem across the Asia Pac, working with the CEO strategy office on SAP HANA Cloud platform, SuccessFactors, Concur, Ariba, and also working with the Lady office, the Oracle strategy on the innovation. So almost into the industry for 22 years. And so great to interact with you today. So thank you.
Thank you. I was just thinking whether you're a competitor, partner, or customer.
So sorry to cut you here. So whenever I go for any meeting nowadays, I always say the time is not for competition, it is for collaboration.
Absolutely.
Whether you do the same thing or different, just collaborate.
Absolutely.
That's the only way to scale. So competition is not in the business dictionary now.
Awesome. No, thank you. Yeah, my name is Ankush Sabharwal, founder of CoRover.ai. If you have heard about Bharat GPT, we created LLM. We have been building AI agents, AI assistants for last 8 years. Collectively, we got more than 1 billion users who have used the assistants created by us. So a lot of exciting things to talk about as we go along. Thank you.
Hi, myself Dia Goyal. So I am heading the technology piece in Digitech. So when you talk about the Digitech, these are the Digitech is the integrator. You can say on the infra side, network side, or
It's not audible. Just
hello. Yeah. So Digitech is the, you can say, the integrator, SI integrator. Okay, so which is on the infra side, network side, and the data center piece. So if you see, like from my perspective, I've spent approximately 15 years in telecom. So building the, you can say, edge data center, or you can say the main data center, especially the 4G, 5G, or 3G. So those kind of scenarios I've driven. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello everyone, this is Vithal and I represent FinACEverse. So the founding team is a bunch of accountants who always wanted to automate the components of accounting throughout our careers. But thanks to the advancement in the LLM and the AI techniques, we just feel that now is the better time than ever to automate the accounting process. And that's how we started FinACEverse. And initially, we just wanted to create an accounting package that could automate the accounting process. But then we realized that the existing accounting packages are doing a decent job in being generic accounting packages. And rather, we just moved to be the platform that would create AI agents for the accounting process. These AI agents can seamlessly integrate with any accounting package that is available in the market through APIs and automate end-to-end accounting process. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the introduction, brief introduction. So I think I'll tell you a few facts about AI, how AI is going to transform the economy or to the industry. AI is going to impact, first of all, the retail sector a lot. The retail, it is estimated that globally, $3.5 to $5.5 trillion is going to be the impact on the retail space. That is something that is going to be the most impacted sector. Now, I'll start my conversation with the value chain perspective. One of the initial, you might have read that Microsoft is going to invest in Indian ecosystem $3 billion US. And I'd like to understand from Vinay. Vinay, what is the focus area of Microsoft? Where this investment will go and what is the focus area of Microsoft? Will you be investing in skill development, any kind of infrastructure space, or it will be the global capability center that you'll have in India? And how is it going to propel India's role in the global value chain?
Okay, so first of all, thanks for having me here. It's great to be talking about this topic. See, Microsoft investment would be across multiple areas, including skill development, infrastructure, working with startups, and any other sort of technology investment that is needed to play a vital role in India as far as Gen AI is concerned. Then to your second question, I think that's the most important topic to discuss here. How can India become a part of the value chain? I think India is already part of the value chain. So I think the question or the discussion should be how can we lead the world as far as the AI revolution is concerned. And before I sort of share my thoughts, I think one thing we should sort of discuss is what is the value chain of AI? So when we talk about the value chain, what does it really mean? And what are the different components of the value chain where different, not just India, I think every country wants to become a significant player because this is a revolution which is going to just change everything about us, everything. And this is going to last for, I would say, several decades. So if you look at the value chain, I mean, there are four main, I think, pieces which are emerging. One is very centered around infrastructure, which is where GPUs, etc. You hear of big companies like NVIDIA, Broadcom. They are playing massive role in that value chain. And that, I would say, I would put data centers, etc., in the same category. There's a lot of investment being done to make sure that the AI application demand that comes over the next several years is being met. So chips, hardware infrastructure, all that is one big part of the value chain. That's where the whole thing starts. Then the second part of the value chain is all these foundational models, which is where I think CoRover is building. There are some other Indian companies which are developing models in that area. There are lots of big companies that you know of. So that's one area where I think India could play some role. The other two areas which are emerging and which I think is where India would play a significant role is on the AI tool space, AI tools/infrastructure, where the whole software development model is changing. I think the previous speaker talked about agentic, future is agentic. So the whole infrastructure around building applications is changing. So that's where I see a number of startups which are building very, very smart tools, not just for Indian companies, but for the world. And then the last part of the value chain is AI applications themselves. So that is also changing significantly. And that's where I see a number of Indian companies doing a fantastic job in terms of building purposeful applications for a number of domains. So I think if you break the value chain apart, I think India has potential to play a significant role in multiple parts of the value chain, and I'm pretty confident that in the next few years we'll see a number of unicorns emerging in this area.
Thank you. I think that clarifies the focus, and I agree with you that it's not about being the value chain, it's actually lead the value chain. We may not be leading, but how we can work towards to lead the value chain. Completely agree. So Jatin, I think we discussed briefly about your organization. Just let us know that you mentioned that smart infrastructure development, and you're in discussion with number of states to develop the smart infrastructure. And how is it going to add to the smart city agenda of or scheme of Government of India, and how your organization, this AI model, is going to expedite the journey of 100 smart cities or any particular area of smart city? Would like to understand from your side. This is really interesting. Yep.
Yeah, so thanks, Dharmender, for asking this question. This is really interesting. So today, if you talk about the AI, so today the Government of India has also come up with the AI-focused, the vision and objectives, right? So every state government, today if you talk about, we have like 25 plus state governments. So every state government, Chief Minister has given an objective to basically upgrade the state as per the latest infrastructure, okay? So you cannot just change the smart city by only talking about technology, okay? So there are two ways to do it. So what Faction AI is focusing as of now, so we are the company who's basically giving a mix of the technology and investment. So per state, from 1 billion USD to 10 billion US dollar, we have been parked for the investment, every state government in the country. So this is the minimum number on which we are looking at, and we can sign up on a PPP model from maybe up to 20 years, depending upon the feasibility study which we do. So firstly, we will just go and sign an MOU with the government, understand that what are the various sectors of which we can make the progress. We talk about smart airport. So the airport is the next upcoming infrastructure change which we have to do immediately, because we are the largest population country in the world. So today, if you see, you go to the airport, it is not like the same airport which was 5 to 6 years back or even 10 years back. It is now flooded with a lot of passengers. So the need is to upgrade the existing airport with the cognitive AI applications, and then come up with the new airport infrastructure, and connecting all the airports so that we can have the largest airport infrastructure. Similarly, smart education, you talk about edtech industry. So education, you talk about, there is another company called Imbibe from Reliance, who's also partnering with us. So they are largest and operating more than 25 states now with their edtech solutions. So with them, we are collaborating on how we can bring that change across the country. So after edtech, then we have got smart tourism. tourism is the biggest sector in each and every state government to increase the revenue. Today, if you need to increase the GDP of the country, you need to have the inflow of the foreign funds to the country, which can only happen if you increase tourism. So tourism will get generative if you have space museum, if you have latest infrastructure, if you have those facilities in the country. Like to talk about Disney World. So we were talking to the chairman of Disney World to come to India with an investment. So we were talking to the Goa CM and all. So they were just ready to give us 200 acre of land. We want minimum 2,000 acres of land. Because if Disney World come to India, there will be a massive change in the country, GDP, and a lot of revenue, not from the country, but from the global markets, which will get derived. And then we have got, why we are so confident? Because we have the pool of applications which support all this infrastructure. And going to the smart medical system, then the smart sustainability. So everybody's talking about green hydrogen. We launched our green hydrogen with MNRE, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So we did a tie-up with IGV Italy, one of the company in Italy, who is the pioneer in the green hydrogen. So we just launched it on 19 December at Vigyan Bhavan with the MNRE and Skill Council for Green Jobs. So the objective here is not to just talk about AI, it is about creating an impact on the ground. You can only create an impact on the ground if you take those solutions, get the government engaged on the PPP model, because government also needs investment. So we are a global company. We have got access to more than 180 countries. So you talk about Africa, Ghana, Botswana, Rwanda, South Africa, all these countries, Egypt. So we are connected. We are taking an impact to African continent. Then we work with UAE, Dubai Al Maktoum, which is one of the largest group. We are also part with them on the investment portfolio. Atlas Smart City in Dubai, we are working on that. So some $1 billion of MOUs we have signed. So it is on the ground now, and with the government of India, the objective is to do a feasibility study at each and every state government level. So we have got 600 plus business clusters. Each business clusters drive revenue for the country. So we will get into a model and engagement with the government, and then that will help the government to increase the revenue streams from different sectors.
Right. Thank you so much, Jatin. So I think we would like to learn more about the 6 or 7 sectors that you have mentioned in next round of question. I would like to understand the case studies or use case that you have addressed and solved for Indian context. I'd like to understand more. But moving to Ankush. Ankush, would like to understand from you that you have been leading with the area of voice bots, and so you also launched the Bharat Chat GPT, a platform. You have been engaged with India's one of the largest, I would say, customer-facing interface, IRCTC, and with NPCI also at GFF, you demonstrated some collaboration. So we'd like to understand that the chatbots, voice bots, and conversational AI platform which are there as part of your company's solutions, how they are innovating themselves rather than general voice bots, and what is the future of this conversational AI, and where is it going to merge to the overall customer experience as a service, as overall portfolio?
Yeah, thanks for asking the question this way. So I would say we are not doing innovation. It can be headline. So no, we see, if you see, I think you rightly asked which use case. Now you see that a lot of AI companies, I think, of course, kudos to the people who are starting up and trying to create impactful, meaningful applications. But there are, I think, there's data which says 80% of AI applications are even, I think I can say, startups fail. And around 90% of the POCs would not actually be deployed at scale. I think we are trying to do so much innovation. We want to do something unique, to be different, sometimes probably at the sake of it. I think looking at the current innovation, right, the robots talking and the glass having written on it, the glass, the specs having cameras, looking at all the innovations now, if I look back and see our platform, we have not done innovation, no sexy thing we have done. But what we are trying to do, we are trying to make the hardware or the software humane. We want to make them talk the way we are talking, right? So whether it's innovations, it's kind of, it's good looking, probably not, right? But we are trying to make existing things more democratized. We want to give access of technology and information to everyone, literally everyone. So we are not the ones, we start something with English, right? Most of the platform, you start with English and then Hindi and then you pick up other languages. So we have clients who say, no, we don't need English and Hindi, start with Tamil first. Right? So, so how many people in India understand English? It's just 10%. And Hindi is again not India-wide, it's around 40-45%. And I think I'm now talking again and again, if we, I think, implement AI to really democratize technology. I'm not saying democratize AI, I'm saying democratize technology so that the information reaches to the everyone, right time, kind of right information. So we would live in abundance. The same word I've used thrice in the meeting since morning. And this is not, I watched some video where someone was saying we will live in abundance, and I believe in that, right? So why people are poor? Because they do not have the right information. They even do not have the access to the right government policies. There are, okay, if I talk about CoRover as a beneficiary, we have taken government grant, we have taken government funding, we have won many government awards. How we have not even have met the government, but we just keep an eye on the schemes being launched. We have one person who keeps looking at, कि देखो कोई AI में कोई grant आ रही है, AI में कोई challenge आ रहा है. We just go fill the form. We might not get this year, but I'm sure next year we'll get it, we'll keep applying. So I'm saying if everyone gets information in their language, so whether that information is about uplifting their health, uplifting their skills, they would know how to make living, right? So they would know probably how to make some kind of product, service, though we are not in barter system, but of course, when they help others, they'll be able to generate money. So I think if we make existing, are we saying we would create core banking solution innovatively? There is no need. FinACEverse is successful, 80% of the banks are using it. I think let's support the existing core banking solution. I'm not saying replace e-banking, e-commerce, or replace the utility system. So we already have good hardware, good software, just add the conversational layer. I've seen in the booths a lot of people building conversational AI agent. I think that's even, I think, as you said, the future is AI agents, but I think we have to implement right way. Don't do innovation, but whatever innovation, success, early success which we have seen, just make it perfect. I still see the product. If you ask me, right, so you rightly mentioned LIC is our customer, IRCTC is our customer, and PCI is our customer, 100 plus customers. But if you ask me, Ankush, are you doing the great job? Tell me which use case is the best. I would hesitate. If I have to give marks, I would say 5 out of 10. One company has done 100 plus implementations. Right. So we have to do whatever we have done better way. And I think that's an opportunity for everyone. So don't take innovation too much seriously.
No, I understand. See, it's not only about AI or usage of AI. And actually, we are adding value. Are we creating value for the end user? Is that innovation like in smart solutions? What are the use cases for India that we have solved and solved it really well? So that is also really important. So I would talk to about the Cache Digitech. Mr. Goyal, like you have been in this industry, IT industry, and as an organization, 20 plus years. So what kind of transformation that you're seeing in the IT services industry or the digitization industry and usage of AI tools in actually making the software development adoption or development as a leveraging tool for software development? Has it been happening in the services, IT services industry? Would like to hear your views on that. As I think Vinay also told that, that the development side is something that India should focus on.
So basically, if you see earlier, all the applications were monolithic. Okay, people are transforming from monolithic to microservices-enabled architecture. So we have to have a complete infra ready, which should be like, you can say complete virtualized, or you can say the microservice enabled. And that way you are building your applications, which should be transformed from legacy to all these applications, which is a new application. So that is a transformation which is happening. If you see large organization or maybe small organization, so whatever applications they are using, so whether it is OSS, BSS applications, if you talk about the telecom, you talk about like maybe 4G or 5G network, which were earlier on a, you can say a monolithic kind of architecture, now it is microservice enabled, so that it can scale as per the demand. Okay, that way it is happening. So that's why you require a complete infrastructure, or maybe which can be implemented on a, you can say infra as a code. For example, if I have a compute layer, you have an infra layer and network. If you can connect all together piece, giving the AI computational also within 2 minutes, within 2 days as an infra as a code. So that is a thing which is happening. If you have to transform large data centers, that is the way you have to go. You have everything interconnected. Only thing is you have to provision in 2 days rather than wasting the complete time for maybe 2 months, 4 months, waiting for the complete infra to be ready. So that is the transformation which is happening. So that's why you require like data platform which is data agnostic, or maybe because you see, okay, so whether on the security side or on the data side, you can say on the value side. So you require a complete data. So data need to be on some certain platform, which need to be secured also, because you are building your low language model or maybe high language or your private model or AI model, all need to be integrated. If you talk about India, there's a lot of different languages. So you have to build those models on those languages also. So that should be private, that should be secured, and that should be enabled. So one is building your large data centers in, you can say, how we can reduce the complete time to build those data centers. Then if you want to modernize or orchestrate or automate, so how quickly you can do it. So that is another piece, because you have to build those things. Then building all those language models. If you can see the complete value chain, how you can reduce the complete time given to the market. So that is the way we are progressing. So we are building those practices.
Correct.
So that we can give infra as a code to the market and build the product as well as the services we are giving.
Correct. Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Goyal. So, would like to understand that on the, I think, Vithal, you can tell us that finance AI, that you have been revolutionizing the accounting space. I would like to understand very specifically that how any 3 use cases, one for customers in accounting, like any kind of help or AI has contributed, for CAs, the accountants, and for the government, as any 3 areas that AI has contributed and made a difference in the way, in comparison to the earlier, how you were doing with other softwares. So would like to understand anything on that aspect.
Yeah, okay. So let me start with the customers. So there are use cases. I mean, there are companies apart from Finas in this field, but unfortunately not many companies are catering to end-to-end accounting, but they have already automated certain portions of it. For example, if you take companies like BotKeeper, they have automated the functions such as invoicing and APR management. So when it comes to the management of APR, if you take, for example, an IT staffing company which is located in US, again, most of the IT staffing companies are again the Indian, the founders are Indians. And they have literally thousands of consultants under them. And they'll be raising literally thousands of invoices per month. And then they have to, keep on pushing the clients to pay these invoices. So typically, the IT staffing company would use somewhere around 10 to 12 resources only for the AR processing in order to expedite the process of collection of these payments from the clients. So now, with the advent of AI, what happens is at least the follow-up part would be automated. And now, the clients would make the payments earlier. And once the payment has been received, they would also share the payment advice. And so now the set off of that payment advice against that particular invoice has always been cumbersome for the accountants and also the IT staffing companies, because the CEO, whenever they wanted the latest accounts receivable report, they didn't used to get it because the data was never ready due to the manual processes, and the latency involved. So right now, after the automation, the payment advices would be automatically set off against those invoices, and now the clients would at least get up-to-date information on a real-time basis. So that's one use case that I can think of where AI has actually helped people to get the information on a click of a button. And then when you look at the banking industry, so irrespective of the fact that this core banking solutions has automated most of the tasks related to the transaction recording, even, in that scenario, if you look at banks with operations across multiple geographical locations, the consolidation of all the financial statements and providing to the, the domicile, the country in which they belongs to is extremely cumbersome. Because let's say, this is one of the use cases that we are working on as well. There is a bank, BNI, in Indonesia, that is one of the top 4 banks in Indonesia. They have operations in somewhere around 14 to 17 different countries. And when they prepare the standalone financial statements, they have to ensure accounting standards of the local government has been met with. And then they should also submit a consolidated financial statement to Indonesian government. So while doing it, the problem with the accounting standards is that there are mismatches or let's say inconsistencies in terms of how a particular accounting standard treats a particular item. So in order to eliminate all these inconsistencies and in order to eliminate the intercompany balances and to provide one set of financial statements, the banks across the globe are still actually, pretty much relying upon manpower, and then they're doing it in spreadsheets. So now, with the advent of AI and introduction of that AI into this core banking solution, what we are trying to do is to reduce the gap, and we are trying to identify all those intercompany balances, and then we are trying to eliminate it on an automation basis, on a real-time basis. And the AI agent will also forge or convert the inconsistencies among the accounting standards, read them, and then make sure that the consolidated financial statements will be in compliance with the particular accounting standards of the country to which that bank belongs to. So basically, what is supposed to be a 6 months process is now being reduced to a 10 days process. So
Sure.
yeah.
Yep.
And then when it comes to accounting firms, this is where exactly automation of accounting would be most useful, because the day in, day out, the bread and butter of accounting firms like ours is to maintain the books of accounts of the clients. So rather than treating automation of accounting as a process to cut down your cost,
Correct.
we just try to educate our clients to treat this as an opportunity to scale up with the same set of resources. So we would automate all the the day-to-day voluminous transactions, the monotonous transactions, which we think can be completely automated. And we firmly believe that people should, the resources
Right.
should be in a position to get insights from that.
Yeah. So I think it's a big challenge that globally different accounting standards are followed. And there are experts on a particular accounting standards. And in companies like accounting companies, Big Fours, that this is this particular accounting standard expert and this. So if same expert can be leveraged by using this tool to deal with all the accounting standards and can convert or highlight that this is the conversion into the new accounting standards and there are these anomalies. So this would be interesting. We can talk more on offline. So I think we have limited time, but I would like to have quick responses on few things from your side, maybe 1 minute response. That Vinay would like to understand that there are 2 to 3 things that Indian ecosystem, government, industry, or citizens, or any that should do to expedite the leadership journey in the value chain.
I think one clear use case in my mind is education. So AI can make a massive impact on education, which will not only help the country, but will also help with overall GDP growth and skill development in India. Second one is healthcare. So we are seeing a number of use cases where healthcare industry is getting transformed and is able to provide services to people in remote areas, so for better livelihood. And the third use case is all around business efficiency. So we haven't gone into a lot of details here, but a lot of businesses are using AI to become more productive. So I think that will also help India to become, to rise faster as the time grows.
Great, thank you. Jatin, would like to understand that you have been talking to states on the PPP model and trying to solve problems. Give us 3 areas in which the Indian ecosystem should prepare itself to adopt AI. What are the gaps which you need that India, because you have experimented this in multiple countries in Africa, in US. So what India should upskill to adopt these all smart solutions in 6 sectors that you mentioned? And so apart from skill and other aspects, would like to understand from you.
Yeah, sure. So adding to Vinay, because those are the very important, I think, areas or sectors on which AI makes an impact. So when we talk about the country as a whole, it is the right time for India to move towards becoming a developed economy or a country. Okay. If we will not have that vision or passion, we'll never reach there. So under the leader of our Honorable Prime Minister, who is focusing more on taking India to a global scale, and we are a brand now. A couple of years back, we used to go out of country to meet people. Now people are coming here to meet us. They are interested to partner with us. Secondly, from the AI perspective, right? The first thing is like efficient use of resources. Okay, I'm talking about country as a whole now because it's a bigger picture you want. I'm not getting into the deep dive on the various solutions that we have across smart traffic, smart healthcare, or whatever. Right. So firstly, efficient use of resources. When you have efficient use of resources, then automatically it will improve the citizen life. So you have a quality of life. Okay, the quality of life gives you better opportunities for investment from across the globe. And when you have starting investment coming in, then you have more and more economic growth, which leads to more jobs gets created around various sectors, which we are talking about. And finally, you have to focus on the sustainability, which is a very important sector. Even I'm talking to a lot of scientists across the globe along, not only on green hydrogen, we have started working on thorium also. Okay, because sustainability is another sector I want India to lead that globally. So, because if you talk about country India, 70% of thorium reserves, through which nuclear reactor you can generate power, which is a very big next level sustainable fuel, is 70% comes from your Kerala and Odisha. Okay. Right. So that's another sector. And then, of course, there are other technologies from the global scientists on which we are working, from where solar energy is getting obsolete. Now we are talking about the next gen energy levels of power around AI, which is NTAO, nuclear reactor, from where you create the power on Earth from stars. So these kind of you might be thinking that this is not possible. 10, 15 years back, if somebody used to tell you, you have an application like Google Maps. You just put the location, it will give you a real-time view. People would have said that, oh, you are joking, right? So it is happening.
No,
so
we
these
need
are
to
the
have a
things
separate session on this.
Yeah. So innovation is the focus for India.
Sure.
So this is, so I'm just finishing, right?
Yep.
And of course, I think we have got a lot of government support coming up, so we are very
sure.
This thing.
Sure, Jatin, thank you so much. And Ankush, in terms of the conversational AI, what trends that we can see in next 3 to 5 years, where is it going to improve in terms of the value addition to the customers while communicating to the businesses in their grievances? What kind of trends that we can see?
Same answer as the previous one. But still, I think the other one trend which I see is the AI discussions would stop, I think, next 12 to 8 months. That will become as we don't talk, is there any need of computers in agriculture? Is there any need of computers in banking? So computer, mobile, internet. So similarly, AI would become the part of everything we do. That's one trend which I see.
Much more accuracy also. And much more value add. Yeah. I think, Mr. Goyal, coming to you, in terms of the services, IT services industry, what do you think that the skill gap which is there presently, and in the education or the skill gap in leveraging the AI tool that country should focus on to increase the path to the leadership to the value chain?
So basically, we have to start from, you can say, from the schools, okay, how we can educate our next generation. So building on those new technologies, which is AI enabled, and how they can leverage those things. So if you talk about now everything is getting changed, from school to college to, you can say, even the companies. So everybody is now adapting. How we can reduce the operational efficiency, which we are saying, okay, we are bringing. So we are using right now, whether it is L1, L2, L3, all those resources, they are using these tools to cut down their effort. If I can reduce like maybe 50% effort of them by using the AI tool, so I am improving the efficiency. Now you talk about the industry, they are talking about 90 hours. If you can reduce by AI by 45 hours, then it is a job done.
Right.
So that is the way you can bring the operational efficiency rather than increasing the workforce.
Excellent point, excellent. It should start at the education at the schools. So I think, Mr. Vithal, last words from your side. You have given extremely good example in terms of how AI is impacting the accounting use cases. Would like to understand from you what's next. You have worked towards the global accounting standards can be dealt by one team without having very specific knowledge about those. So that's a value add for a firm, accounting firm. But what do you think, what's the next in the accounting and the finance ecosystem that is going to come in next 3 to 5 years as a trend?
Well, yeah, as I told you, probably AI account is, that's one of the trends that we are going to see. We're going to see a lot agents. But interestingly, when it comes to AI, at least the possibilities are endless. So, now that we have conquered the accounting agents platform, we have also, we're also trying to implement the same model with the lawyers. So now we are creating lawyers first, and that's the next trend probably you can just see.
Right.
So there are a lot of platforms that we are creating for the lawyers as well.
Sure. Thank you so much. Very enlightening and very full of learning for me. Hope the same for you. Now I have time for one question. Anybody would like to ask a question? Yeah, sure. I think Himanshu, right?
Right, Dharmender, thank you. And thanks for panelists, for such fantastic discussion, and Dharmender also, for conducting this discussion so wonderfully. I think I've been part of the AI discussion since morning, and I've attended quite a few sessions, and every session brings out something new, and there's one thing, that everybody has, already talked about, and basically I'm probably taking forward a question that I asked Dharmender in some other session. When we talk about AI, of course, we talk about data, and I don't know, I might be wrong, but a lot of models that are being created, or for a person who wants to start something building on AI, if he looks for some data, all this data belongs to, say, which is outside country. If I go to Kaggle, I wanted to do research, say, on fraud management. The data set that I got, it's not Indian. It's outside India. So do you think, in India, my question is, do you think India produces enough data that the AI models will be suitable for the Indian market? And where do you see, AI benefiting Indians as such? In the coming time, as compared to, say, countries like China, which is considered to be far more advanced, in AI, just because of probably the data they produce.
I can. So it's a very interesting question, firstly, So we faced a similar problem almost 15 years back with the government of India when the cloud technology got launched into the country. And we started with IaaS, which is infrastructure as a service, right? So that time, moving any application on public cloud was considered to be the digital transformation. From private sector, it was fine. But when you talk about the sensitive data from the country, it was not allowed. As per the government policy, the data should reside within the Indian geography. Okay. So that time, there were options on which we worked on with the BSNL. Okay. So I was also working on a very big go-to-market with one of the company called Entity and SAP. So we tied up with BSNL. We became a technology partner, but the data center was run and entirely operated by BSNL. So the problem one is solved, right? So from the government today also, you cannot take any data out of the country as per the government of India policy. Okay. When you talk about corporates, you talk about AWS, Microsoft Azure, SAP Cloud, or GCP, multiple 4 or 5 top leaders in the cloud business. So these companies also have got their local data centers, and there are a lot of encryption into the data policy which is there to protect the data. Because if you talk about data, data is the fuel to run the economy. You cannot leak data anywhere. It is a very important business tool. Nobody knows that. But today, if you talk about AI, there is a lot of data which gets generated from all the IoT smart devices which gets deployed. And structured and unstructured data will talk to your core engine and drive those Gen AI. Gen AI is not. It's a historical data. You drive analytics, and then you have business insights. Cognitive AI works like a human being. So it is a mix of your LLM plus your machine learning and your decision making. So like a human being works, that cognitive AI works. So data for any government operates out of NICSI, NIC, but private data centers are also option available with encryption, and the government of this is already complied. So I hope it answers.
So can I add to that? You're saying India doesn't have data. I think, can I say that? Less data of great model. I think otherwise. I see India has the highest amount of data. You see how many news channels. Every news channel is producing data every day in different languages. See Geo. I think Geo is the largest data platform in the world, right? So government in India trains, I think 3 crore people travel every day. They book the ticket, most of them. So there is data, books, so many newspapers being written. And there are new writings, right? New languages being written in different languages. So India has the highest amount of data. It's all about who owns it. Can we use it or not? It's all about ownership.
Yeah.
And I think who will win this AI game? The people who have the data and who can use the data.
Yeah. Himanshu, I think we had limiting on time. Just one line I like to add. We have personal data protection bill to protect privacy. Similarly, the next step is non-personal data protection, or non-personal data which will be anonymous data which can be leveraged by the AI engines, AI models to get much more trends about any particular behavior of the citizens, which is, I think, will come after this DPDP rules are actually circulated. So that's part of the open data.gov plan to have much more open data presented to the research institutions or to the businesses to serve citizens. So I think with that, thank you so much for everyone and really insightful session. Thank you so much, everyone.